History of Queen Victoria Memorial.
On the death of Queen Victoria in January 1901, Lord Curzon, who was then Viceroy of India, placed before the public the question of setting up a fitting memorial to the Queen. He suggested that the most suitable memorial would be a stately, spacious, monumental, and grand building surrounded by an exquisite garden.
This was to be a historical museum, where people could see before them pictures and statues of men who played a prominent part in the history of this country and develop a pride in their past. The princes and people of India responded generously to his appeal for funds, and the total cost of construction of this monument, amounting to 1 crore and 5 lakhs of rupees, was entirely derived from their voluntary subscriptions. The architecture. Sir William Emerson, president of the British Institute of Architects, designed and drew up the plan of this building, while the work of construction was entrusted to Messrs. Martin and Company of Calcutta. Vincent Esch was assigned to supervise the construction. Major collection of the Victoria Memorial. The memorial is the largest repository in India for a visual history of Calcutta. It also has a major collection of paintings, sculptures, and manuscripts from the British period. Western paintings. Victoria Memorial has large collection of paintings in oil, watercolors, aquatins by the European painters, like Johann Zoffany, Tilly Kettle, Thomas Hickey, and others, besides the largest collection in the world of the paintings by the Daniels. Johann Zoffany had painted portraits mainly in the early years, but later concentrated to dramatic compositions. Tilly Kettle is one of the earliest British painters to visit India, renowned for the favours and commissions he secured from the Nawabs of Arcot and Oudh. Thomas Hickey painted the portrait of Muiz-ud-Din, son of Tipu Sultan. Indian paintings. The Victoria Memorial has a vast collection of Indian paintings, which were painted using purely old Indian techniques, or using Western style. Archives of Victoria Memorial. There are hundreds of original important documents of historical importance in the archive of the memorial. A letter written by Lord William Bontinck to Prince Dwarkanath Tagore, and the archive of the treaty between Mirzafar and the British after the Battle of Plassey. Postage stamps. The Victoria Memorial has a large number of postage stamps in its collection. Only a few are on display at the Calcutta Gallery. All of these stamps depict Queen Victoria. Lithographs and aquatints. Lithographs and aquatints by many artists at the memorial. Some of the best are by the Daniels, T. and W. Daniel, and by Sir Charles Oily. Aquatints made by Thomas and William Daniel in the late 18th century. The Daniels' magnificent views of Indian landscapes and antiquities, in both oils and aquatint, made an immediate impact on the British elite. Sir Charles Oily was an amateur artist of superb talent, served in India between 1803 and 1838 period. He made a great impact on the Indian painters, who learned to adapt their techniques to meet new needs. Mughal miniatures. The Victoria Memorial has a good number of Mughal miniatures in its collection. Some of them are of Emperor Akbar. Akbar's Elephant Going Mad. A story of Emperor Akbar's time. Manuscripts. A large number of valuable manuscripts are in the collection of this memorial, some of which are on display at the Portrait Gallery. Sculptures and statues. The Victoria Memorial has a large number of statues and sculptures in its collection. Many of these are in the garden. Though initially, personalities from the British period were housed inside the memorial and garden, Later, many statues of Indian personalities were also put on display. Arms and armors. Sketches. These are few sketches of old Calcutta. Historical relics. Historical relics such as the throne of the Nawab of Bengal, an ivory chair gifted to Mrs. Warren Hastings, and the medals given by the H.M. Queen Victoria to Prince Dwarkanath Tagore, and the pistols used by Lord Warren Hastings in a duel, and the ink pot used by Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar are there. Library. The Memorial Library is a special library with emphasis on Indo-British history and arts relating to 18th and 19th century. The Calcutta Gallery. The Calcutta Gallery displays the history and development of Calcutta from Job Carnock and the British rule up to 1911, when the capital was shifted to Delhi. Victoria's piano at the Royal Gallery. The specially ordered piano was gifted by then English King William IV to his niece and successor Queen Victoria. In 1829 period, the piano instrument, carved out of rosewood and manufactured by noted French piano makers Sebastian and Pierre Erard,